des ateliers FTLP et en organisant les forums africains annuels de BNS. Nous promouvons et nous plaidoyons pour le développement de l'Internet au niveau national et international. Comme vous le savez, il est très important. Il y a des défis qui sont de plus en plus importants pour l'Internet. Nous travaillons aussi pour s'assurer que la technologie de l'Internet puisse être basée sur des normes techniques développées dans un environnement avec une technique développée. Nous avons plus de 150 membres d'organisations, plus de 80 000 individus qui sont membres. Et nous avons d'autres communautés qui sont en Afrique, qui traduisent donc notre mission globale, mondiale, en action locale. La société Internet est fière d'être la plateforme du sommet africain de l'Internet. Nous sommes très contents que l'AIS puisse avoir eu un succès pour la deuxième fois. Et ensemble, avec les parties prenantes, nous continuons à œuvrer pour que ça puisse continuer à croître. C'est un point de ralliement très important pour les opérateurs de l'Internet. Je vous souhaite tous un grand succès. Merci.
Merci beaucoup, Daoud. Merci beaucoup, AISOC. AISOC a été un très très bon partenaire pour le développement de l'Internet en Afrique. Si vous allez dans chaque pays africain, vous allez bien sûr voir charte de AISOC parce que cette organisation fait la promotion de l'Internet. Merci beaucoup AISOC pour votre contribution. Nous apprécions très bien. Nous applaudissons. Merci beaucoup. J'aimerais reconnaître et bien sûr accueillir notre hôte, le directeur général de Djibouti Telecom. Faut applaudir à notre ami Mohamed. Merci Mohamed. L'éducation est un outil très très important pour séparer, pour reconnaître ceux qui sont développés et ceux qui ne sont pas développés. Il est très important que l'éducation soit faite de manière moderne. Et il est très important d'éduquer également au bon moment. Et avant de passer à la prochaine présentation, j'aimerais bien vous dire une histoire pourquoi l'éducation est très importante. Dans mon village, il y a longtemps, un homme voyageait d'un village à un autre et il s'est arrêté pour se reposer sous un arbre. Et là, pendant son repos, il a juste mis de l'eau et puis il s'est endormi. Ensuite, un singe est descendu de l'arbre et bien sûr s'est enfui avec sa tasse. Alors l'homme, bien sûr, était confus, il ne savait pas comment récupérer sa tasse. Et l'homme s'est dit, bien sûr, en jetant des pierres sur ce singe, je ne pourrai pas l'atteindre. Donc, il a essayé d'utiliser son esprit il a utilisé son esprit et là, il a fait bien sûr en sorte de tenir une tasse et le singe a imité et il a mis bien sûr cette tasse sur sa tête et le singe a jeté bien sûr cette tasse et, et l'homme s'est précipité et a saisi bien sûr sa tasse et bien c'est reparti. Et, 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 et il a dit à tout le monde l'histoire sur ce qui lui est arrivé aujourd'hui. Et tout le monde s'est étonné. Et plus tard, son fils voyageait au même endroit et a fait la même chose. Et lorsque le singe est descendu, bien sûr, de l'arbre, le fils s'est réveillé et il s'est rappelé de l'histoire que son père lui a racontée. Et il s'est rappelé de cette histoire et il a fait la même chose. Et finalement a obtenu. Mais il s'attendait à ce que le singe aussi a su l'histoire et il lui a dit mon père m'a raconté cette histoire moi aussi, espèce d'idiot. Et quand vous éduquez vos enfants, les singes aussi éduquent leurs enfants, mais il faudrait bien sûr éduquer nos enfants beaucoup plus que les singes. Et il est très important que nous sachions ce qui se passe dans le monde du mobile. Nous avons bien sûr conquis l'Internet en Afrique, n'est-ce pas? Et maintenant, on bascule vers le monde mobile, les applications. Et ces petites, bien sûr, appareils qui changent notre vie. Et le professeur Nick a parlé, bien sûr, de l'importance de l'application mobile en Afrique. Je suis chanceux d'être bien sûr ici avec vous. Applaudissons le docteur, s'il vous plaît. Merci beaucoup. Bonjour. J'étais pas sûr, c'est ce que je devrais partager avec vous, mais je pensais voir certaines activités sur lesquelles je travaillais durant les années universitaires. Et peut-être ça va servir à développer l'application dans le continent. L'Afrique est un très grand continent et peut absorber beaucoup, bien sûr, de pays en Asie ou bien d'autres pays. En termes de superficie, elle est très large et elle a beaucoup de langues et beaucoup de cultures. Et ces cultures sont souvent isolées, ne sont pas très connues. Et il y a aussi beaucoup de langues qui sont communément utilisées telles que le français, l'anglais, le portugais et l'arabe. La géographie de l'Afrique est très variée avec des forêts, des savanes, des montagnes, des vallées et bien sûr des belles océans. Mais il y a un défi, il n'y a pas d'homogénéité bien sûr, il y a le problème linguistique, il y a la diversité culturelle et économique. Et tout ceci constitue des contraintes. Il y a des diversités, bien sûr, qui deviennent un obstacle pour la coopération et surtout pour le partenariat. Vous ne pouvez pas entreprendre tout ce que vous voulez. Cela limite, bien sûr, la prestation des services. La conclusion, c'est que l'Afrique est un continent complexe pour construire bien sûr un network, un réseau ou bien un business et de développer bien sûr des contenus et des applications et de mobiliser des ressources. Nous avons bien sûr une économie pauvre et bien sûr les infrastructures de réseau, les opportunités d'information, le potentiel en application, en développement d'applications. Et tout ça sont des moteurs pour le contenu. Malgré ces problèmes environnementaux en Afrique, il y a bien sûr l'Internet qui croît de plus en plus fort dans le continent. Nous avons des villes qui ont beaucoup d'opportunités et beaucoup, bien sûr, des pays ont des compagnies en compétitivité dans le secteur des télécommunications. Et les télécommunications, les compagnies de télécommunications, la plupart deviennent des fournisseurs mobiles et il y a plusieurs pays qui ont bien sûr des taux de pénétration de 80%. La communication mobile sont souvent AIS et il y a des infrastructures qui sont bien sûr été augmentées en augmentant bien sûr le nombre des abonnés pour l'Internet. Et dans beaucoup de pays, il y a des nombres d'abonnés aussi qui augmentent. Il faut dire que le mobile sera la méthode d'accès la plus répandue en Afrique. Les infrastructures de base doivent migrer sur le vibre. Comme il y a plus d'investissements, avec l'accès à l'Internet en Afrique, nous allons vers le contenu et l'application. Il y a des processus JTL et il y a beaucoup également des contraintes. Et il y a beaucoup des infrastructures, des fournisseurs d'infrastructures dans le domaine de DNS. Et selon moi, il faut qu'il y ait beaucoup d'opportunités pour l'Afrique de se développer. Il faut créer, des portages d'informations qui soient partie du cloud. Il y a également des sites ou des web d'informations qui viennent et de blogs qui viennent de l'Afrique. Et bien sûr, il faudrait bien sûr utiliser dans ce domaine beaucoup de ces technologies. Il y a également d'autres opportunités. Il faudrait qu'il y ait des compétences de programmation étendues et également développer les applications mobiles et faire des combinaisons. Il y a un atelier, bien sûr, AFNOG, qui enseigne comment utiliser ces genres de technologies. Il y a une opportunité également pour pour l'Internet mobile d'être utilisé pour plusieurs services. Il faudrait bien sûr utiliser soit dans les usines, dans les maisons, dans les fermes ou peut-être dans le secteur du transport. Et garder également les informations dans l'informatique de nuages. Et il faudrait bien sûr identifier ce genre de technologies pour créer la technologie. Il faudrait également mesurer et partager les données à travers le nuage. Il faudrait également avoir des capacités de réseau et avoir bien sûr l'opportunité de l'IPv6 pour l'application industrielle. La recherche et l'éducation créer un environnement pour donner des solutions moins chères pour les facultés et les étudiants. Et il faut également vérifier les capacités de compétences. Tous ces domaines d'application sont profitables, que ce soit pour le secteur de l'agriculture, secteur de la science. Je dirais en conclusion que nous avons beaucoup de travail à entreprendre. Nous devons former des programmeurs et cela, bien sûr, requiert une réforme éducative dès le lycée jusqu'à l'université. Il faudrait approfondir les compétences de nos diplômés sur la manière d'analyser, tester de manière structurée et amener bien sûr la jeunesse dans la programmation. Et j'attends à ce qu'on développe bien sûr des logiciels et la jeunesse peut beaucoup profiter et merci pour votre attention.
To remain a programmer. God was the first programmer, is it not? Let there be light, and there was light. All right. We'll now take the speech from Mr. Paul Cheng of CCSI. Mr. Paul?
Good morning. I will give the speech with the slides. Let them work on it first. His Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends, good morning. In this golden season of June, Africa Internet Summit 2014 has been opened in the Horn of Africa, Djibouti. On behalf of China Communication Services, I'd like to thank the warm welcome from organizer, AfriLeak, AfroLog, and AfStar. Our host, Ministry of Communications, in charge of posts and telecommunications, and Djibouti Telecom. And would also like to express my sincere congratulations on the opening of AIS 2014. Wish the conference a complete success as well. First, I'd like to introduce myself, Paul Chen from CCSI, China Com Service International, Vice President of Global Service and Delivery, EMA region. And also, I will take this opportunity to introduce our company. As they still working on the slide. CCS is the biggest telecommunications services provided in China. CCS annual income is around 10 billion USD. Our clients are telecom operators, information communication and media service provider, enterprise, equipment vendor, government, and others. CCS has built a huge network for Chinese three operators, which is China Telecom, China Mobile, and China Unicom, occupying the majority share of China domestic market. With our experience, we will use the same technical expertise to provide a similar reliable service for our African clients. We have over 40 subsidiaries all over the world, running our business in over 50 countries in Asia, Africa, South America, and other regions, including 17 subsidiaries in Africa continent. CCS is the company listed on the main board of Hong Kong Stock Exchange, HKEX. The exchange code is Hong Kong 0552. The main shareholder of CCS are China Telecom, China Mobile, and China Unicom. Okay, the slide is ready. Okay, let's move to the slide. in my short speech, I want to emphasize the importance of the internet. So, another slide. First. No. From the story. The fourth one. Okay? So, before I also like to tell the story. Around the beginning of this century, 2000, my colleague told me that he couldn't work without electricity. Why? Because all the information, all the documents are in computer. So without electricity, it cannot work, especially in the Department of Financial and PR, Department of PR. All the information are in the computer. So when the electricity has a problem, he has nothing to do. After 10 years later, I can say around 2010, my colleagues also told me that it couldn't work without internet. Even there's electricity and a computer. When there's some problem with internet, they have nothing to do. They don't know how to do with their work. I think you have also such experience. And nowadays, internet and smartphone is the necessity for life, isn't it? From this picture, I think we have the similar experience. Next, please. So the broadband now, like the air, water, and electricity. So someone says Maslow hierarchy of needs are revisited. From this chart, you can see that nowadays the internet and the smartphone is at the top of the list. So from this slide, we can see that how important the internet. Next, please. Next. And also, I also want to share the experience in the ITU this year in Dubai. The theme of the ITU is the broadband for sustainable development. And also a proposal by Uganda government to build a smart Africa. So I think the Africa know much about the internet, know much about the smart. So based on above, CCS believes that internet development in Africa has a great potential. Next. This is the internet development in Africa. I will compare with China. The population is 1.126 billion. The internet usage is 0.2 billion. The penetration of population percentage is 18%. And the smartphone, compared with the global, is 2%. And the internet users, top 5 in Africa, there's Nigeria, Egypt, Kenya, South Africa, and Morocco. And also there's a contribution of the internet industry to GDP. So this slide is also to show the potential in Africa. Next. This is the internet development in China, because the population almost same. Africa 1.1, China 1.3. And the internet users in China is 0.6. The penetration of population percentage is 40%. Our target by year of 2020, the internet penetration fixed line broadband will reach 70%. And the internet penetration wireless broadband will reach 85%. Next. And this is some applications or some apps which we are most familiar in China or maybe in your Africa, our friends. I want to mention that there's one we call the AIS14. This is the instant messenger software which is developed by China Telecom. It's like WeChat. It's like WeChat. And also I want to introduce is the Great Pay, which is the similar like M-Pesa. This Great Pay is developed by our company together with China Union Pay and Bank of Changsha. You can see that Great Pay, yes. And also so many applications in China. That's why the internet users are huge in China right now. We hope we can share our experience in Africa internet development. Next slide, please. Okay. Already finished our company introduction, so move to the end. This is just now I mentioned our company introduction. One moment. I want to introduce our strong financial capability for the project. Okay, there's a spot problem with the slide. Financial, up slide. Yes, as I introduced our company, apart from the engineering strengths, we also possess strong financial capability. We are able to offering various financing solutions, such as concessional loans from Chinese government, vendor financing, buyer's credit, and export credit insurance financing from China according to different projects with different demands. We have a very good relationship with Chinese financial organizations. As you can see that the Exim Bank, the China Development Bank, and the Sinosure, and the Bank of China as well. Next, please. And as we are publicly listed company in Hong Kong Stock Main Board Exchange, so that you can find our financial report online. There's a download link so that you can know more about our company. Next, please. Finally, we believe that the AFRIC and the AFSTARS have important work to do in order to assist African countries to bridge the digital divide and bring much needed infrastructure to all parts of Africa. To be successful in this mission and to work within limited resources, we believe that AFRIC and AFSTARS will work collaboratively and in partnership with other stakeholders in this field. Thanks. And finally, I want to, in my conclusion, I want to share 2 sentences with all friends. I think the Olympic spirit can be the intellect spirit, more fast, more higher, and more strong. And also the Djibouti Telecom enterprise spirit and culture. Every day, closer to you. Chaque jour, plus proche de vous. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Paul Cheng, for that very nice presentation. I would just like the operators to go back on the slide, to the slide before the last, please. Can you give me a slide, the one before the last? Mr. Paul Cheng's slide, please go back one before the conclusion. Second to the last slide that talks about the AF star before the thanks. Yes, that one. No, the previous one, please. Thank you, that one. All right, Mr. Cheng, in thanking you, I want to just modify that slide a bit. If you take note of my modification, you say to be successful in this mission and to work with limited resources, we believe that the AFRINIC and AF-STAR will work collaboratively and in partnership with other stakeholders in this field. And I was going to ask that we had that, and CCSI would be there to support them all the way.
Thanks.
Is my modification acceptable?
Acceptable. Thanks.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to, on your behalf, thank the CCSI. I believe they are a diamond sponsor of this event. So please give them another round of applause. And then one more round of applause because they accepted my modification. All right. We will now take the next presentation, which is the evolution of security systems. Aha. Aha, it's the secret working group, eh?
So this is the secret working group reporter. Your full attention is required. But we need to give this presentation before it expires. No. So, for those who don't know what the secret working group is, the African Secret Working Group is the African branch of the real Secret Working Group, which is a non-profit organization, one need no basis, full denial, and the ultra-secret cabal.
Looks like it's not getting through in French.
Hello?
Apologies.
Hello. Okay. Hello. Okay. The secret working group report is not supposed to be translated. So anyway, It's a secret one. So it's a secret one. It's a secret one. Then I lose control, DJ. No, I need to, the machine is over there. Ah, okay, it's coming. Oh, okay, it's coming. You do it for me? No, I'll do it. No. The magic will go away. So this last year has been a bad year for us. We lost a great freedom fighter. We lost this man. We all know him. Okay. May he rest in peace and help us populate the Madiba.Africa domains with good combatants, because the strike against the techno-colonialists is continuing. So we still need people to continue the fight.
Amandla.
Massive internet surveillance has been confirmed. Last year we told you we were investigating. So Uncle Sam on award for the online spying. You love your fingerprint instead of password? Yes, NSA have your fingerprint. You are in, don't worry. You prefer fingerprint to password? NSA has your fingerprint. It's much better. Then, as usual, the African voodoo is called to help, because now the world is in trouble. Then we asked him, remember when Oxfam was broken? They said, yes, I fix it. Yes, we can. With the NSA games, the net gonna balkanize. Can you fix it? The voodoo said, yes, I can one net it for you. .Africa. You said .Africa, Mandela .Africa. So Fadi thought of delegating the .Africa in the root zone. And this is what happened to Fadi. Delegate in the root and I finish you. Then Fadi gets scared. Then ICANN has to go and hire some security guy to protect the company and the DNS space. The IANA function oversight. You all hear, then it get too hot for NTIA, so NTIA want to give it out. So the question is, who should take the role? Okay? It depends on how multi-stakeholder you are. It depends on how multi-stakeholder you are. Show us how much multi-stakeholder you are, then we can give you the role. If not, we keep the role. Then the numbers. Oh, are you pressing it? I should be the one pressing it. It's a secret report. So Africa is rich of IPv4. Africa still have more than 3/8. So you guys are rich. Other regions ran out of V4 and they are under diet. They are suffering. And
has Uncle Sam taken note?
They went for CGN NAT. Then we told them, no, don't do that. We told them, no, don't do that. Relax. Keep calm and enable IPv6. And forget about the African numbers, IPv4 numbers. But you guys need to protect the Afrinic V4 pool. You need to protect. And this is what we did to protect the Afrinic V4 pool, because we saw more V4 coming from IANA recovered pools. Then we need to protect more, because more V4 space coming, okay, And remember, the other people are under diet. So we are watching your put. Then we show them, if you come after our numbers, this is what you should do. Okay? Trespass this, you get the number or you die. But what about the secret working group requested the 3/8 for its secret operation long ago? Long ago, we sent this to Hostmaster long ago. You can see the date, 1901. This request to the Hostmaster, 1901. But still, when you who is for it, it shows pending community approval. So we hope you guys will approve the 3/8 to the secret working group this time. Wicked news. You know, the fight between the old ITR and the new one. Serious one. So who will win? Winner by knockout, by referee decision, community decision, or through rough consensus and running code? Because you guys only know rough consensus and running code. So what do you expect really from the ITU plenipot? Knockout. We look at your project dashboard. Look at what you have. You have many things going on. Reset the net, standardize magic over IP, develop an anti-net balkanization, define internet governance, define multi-stakeholders. You guys are very busy, very, very busy. Your dashboard shows how busy you are, but too much intravenous espresso concentrate may kill you. So thank you for your attention. God bless you.
Hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip. I will not throw my cap. Thank you very much for that secret working group report. As we say where I come from, it is a deep sound, and only the deep know the color of the deep. All right, so the message in that report, if you are very observant, you will understand the message. And I hope as a community we have seen the wake-up calls that we have in that message. Again, I like the disclaimer. The report has been presented by a volunteer who is not necessarily a member of the secret working group. You are not supposed to know any member of the secret working group. They have no address, no email address, except when they are requesting for all your /8s. So be careful, Africa. They are after your remaining /8s. 2.43 of them. Take care. Thank you very much, Alain, for that report. We now take the last presentation that is standing between us and coffee. which is the presentation on best current operating practices by Douglas Onyango. Douglas, is he in the hall now? Yes, thank you. Douglas, time for your report.
Thank you very much. I'm going to start the presentation, but it's going to be kicked off by Jan.
Thank you. Hello, good morning. Jan George from ISAC, and I'm here to explain a bit of updates about what's going on with the best current operational practices around the world. And I'm very, very happy that Douglas volunteered to run this effort here in this continent. I hear that he's also looking for a co-chair to help him do the work, so the volunteers are welcome. Can we have the slides on, please? Maybe they will come today, at some point in time. Okay. This looks good. Can you go next slide? Next slide, please. Okay, so I've been talking about this for the last two meetings. So what is a best current operational practice? The best current operational practice is a document that describes how to best achieve an operational practice that is agreed by the community, by the subject matter experts in the community. So let's see if this works. What is the basic idea? The basic idea is to start up these efforts around the world in all the continents, that we put operators together that would document how they are deploying new technologies, how they're running the networks, and maybe help the newcomers to come in and immediately understand what are the best ways how to build the networks. Because usually when new people come in, they are a bit struggling with which ways they need to go. They tend to build the complexity into the networks. Complexity is costly, complexity is not good. Vendors are saying something, community is saying something different, and it's usually a big mess. So what we're trying to do is to put together a vetted document series that is actually telling people what to do and how to run it in the best possible way. So what's going around the world in Africa region? We had a BOF last time in Côte d'Ivoire. In Latin America, they started a BCOP task force. Yeah, I need to update the slides. Now they have different co-chairs, and they are working on the process how to standardize the documents and the process of writing BCOPs. In North America, there is a NANOG BCOP. There is Chris Grundeman. He's co-chairing the NANOG BCOP. He will come up later and say some updates, what's going on in that region. In Europe, we got the RIPE BCOP task force that myself and Ben Overrider are co-chairing. I will also give the update what's going on in our region later on. And in Asia, in JANOC, in Japan, something is starting, and also at New Zealand and also other regions are starting this process or this activity. So it is, I'm very happy that the communities around the world are seeing the benefit in having this process and having these documents done. Here are the websites. If you want to have a look, we at ISOC, we are committed to assist and facilitate the project and also facilitate the global coordination between the BCOP projects and activities around the world.
but we first need to get the regions started and the regional content produced and published. Just as an example, what a BCOP is, I put together a group of very, very good people to remove the next speed bump in IPv6 deployment. So first speed bump was addressed by RIPE 554. I don't know who of you is aware of RIPE 554 document. It's the IPv6 requirements for ICT equipment, how you buy the ICT equipment. So if you're buying the new equipment, go and see RIPE 554. There is a list of requirements that you need to request to your vendor to be implemented. And when I was going around the world talking to the operators, and the next speed bump that I heard was the lack of IPv6 knowledge in ISP help desks. So the operators said, yes, we deployed IPv6, we tested the CPEs, we tested everything, but we are not rolling it out to the end customers because our help desk will just burn down in flame because they don't know nothing about IPv6. And we said, okay, then we need to work on it and help the operators to tackle with this problem. So we started the document. Now it's differently titled. It's IPv6 troubleshooting for help desks. And it's a simple set of generic description for 8 or 9 most generic issues that you can have as an end user with help desk with the IPv6. And also we built a troubleshooting tool thanks to Jason Fessler that's running test-ipv6.com. He built a tool that is second part of this document. But I will talk about this document tomorrow at the IPv6 session. I will go more into details. This is just one of examples what is being worked on around the world. Okay, so this was a bit very quickly about what's going on, and I will now leave to Douglas to explain the idea about what to do here in your continent. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jan. Before I provide the update on what's happening in in our region, I just wanted to start by pointing out that every day we have several engineers, maybe tens, maybe hundreds, who are trying to set up networks, who are trying to do one or many tasks in their deployment. And they have usual challenges. They're trying to look for information on how to go about doing it. They're looking for best practices. And you know something? There is actually a lot of information available in this regard. So think about this very Afrinic meeting that we've come to. We've gone to sessions about our PKI, we've done DNSSEC, we've done IPv6, and even yesterday I went to an anti-spam session. The issue for these engineers is pretty simple. We have maybe 100 sources of information. How do we decide on which one of them is more authoritative? How do we decide on which one of them is more up-to-date? How do I decide on which one of them is more relevant to my cause? So these engineers, because they are new, they don't even know what they need at the time. They do not have a way of determining what is best for them. Now, this is the problem that this initiative is trying to resolve. The BCOP initiative is trying to make sure we build a central repository of best practices such that any engineer at any one point in time, should they have need for information, they should have one and only one source of information. They can decide to either go to the Afrinic website, try to dig out a presentation from 2 years ago, go to the NANOG site, try to dig a similar presentation from 5 years ago. How about if they were able to go to one and only one place and could access all the information? This is the idea behind the BCOP initiative. I just wanted to say that what we are looking forward to is having a globally coordinated BCOP initiative, which ISOC is starting to help with doing the facilitation for. Also, we are trying to make sure the documents that we actually published are actually agreed on, debated and agreed on by what we call subject matter experts. We've seen some of them make presentations during this event, and what we will be expecting going forward is that all of the stuff they speak about here will be actually documented in a way that it can be reused. Besides the subject matter expertise on this documentation, we hope that the community will engage also to try and review this data, this information that is published. So, and we also expect that we will be working more closely with the efforts in the other regions, particularly the Nanog and the Ripe region, from which we are going to get updates very shortly. Just to provide a highlight on what has been done so far, the very first presentation along this initiative was made by Ian in May in 2013. This was followed up by a subsequent meeting and a BOF in November of last year. So that is what has happened to date in as far as this initiative is concerned on the continent. Where we hope to go with this initiative, we hope that in the immediate time we'll be creating a mailing list to make sure all of the interested parties can actually get to talk together. We also hope to put in place the repository where we can store all the documentation, and then to immediately commence on discussions on what could possibly be documents of interest. From the last BOF, some of the subjects that emerged was IPv6 labs, building best practices along building labs for IPv6, the challenges of infrastructure in Africa, building. Some of the members also say they would like to either document or they had need for documents on setting up Wi-Fi networks in hotels, and then security and subnetting within IPv6. So we are hoping that this is some of the documents that we'll have maybe ready and published in our repository by our next meeting. We also hope that in our next meeting we'll also provide a status update and hold another BOF, which we intend to do in this very meeting. That's it from this region. I would like to provide this opportunity to members, one person from the Ripe region and from the Nanog region, to tell us exactly what is happening in their regions in as far as BCOPS is concerned. So, Ian, you go first.
Thank you. Yeah. So, good people from Africa, who in this room is willing to work on the document and to contribute to this effort? Hands up, please. Okay, so today in the evening we have a joint BOF, Birds of Feather, where we will be talking about increased operators' feedback to the ITF and also the BCOP BOF. Please join us in the evening for the BOF. We will go through and discuss how the BCOP stuff, the BCOP activity here should be formed, and maybe searching for some support from the AF organizations and try to understand where we should fit this in. Okay, now with my RIPE BCOP task force hat on, chairman hat off on, in RIPE region we figured out the ways how to deal with this. There was quite a bit of SCAPSA in the RIPE region, but because of the process. In RIPE region we have working groups that are dealing with the technical problems. We have routing working group, DNS working group, and IPv6 working groups. And the BCOP in RIPE region is now set up as a group, as a task force that brings people together, makes them agree that they will do the work and make the work, and if there is appropriate working group that is dealing with this topic, for example IPv6, we cooperate with the IPv6 working group chairs or routing working group chairs or DNS working group chairs and say, okay, we will put people together here, they will start writing the document, and then we will ship it over to your working group where you can you please verify the technical details that the document is technically sound and valid, and then give it back, and then we will publish it as a best current operational practice document as a RIPE series document. So all BCOPs from RIPE will be in a RIPE series, so they will have RIPE dash something. And then we will put them together, collect them in one web page and say, okay, these are BCOPs coming from RIPE, and some of them may become a global documents much later. So at the last meeting, we were talking about the V6 troubleshooting for helpdesk document. Then we had a presentation from from Francois. They did the BGP, best current operational practices, but that was quite a closed group of people. Now we are trying to talk him into translating the document to English and basically get the community consensus that this is what is the best current operational practice. Then we have Matthijs from NLNet Labs. He is collecting the group of people to work on a DNSSEC operational document, how to deploy DNSSEC and how to run it. And we had the Andrei Robachevsky talking about the routing manifesto about routing resilience and routing hygiene that the operators should achieve and agree to. So this is a short update. This is being done and worked on in RIPE region, and I hope we will see also a good list of work being emerged here in your region. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Chris Grundeman, and I am the chair of the NANOG BCOP efforts, which we just, in November of last year, became an official committee of NANOG. And now we have a committee with 8 members that are moving BCOPs forward. Actually, this week, the NANOG meeting is going on in Bellevue, Washington, and there were 3 BCOPs committed last night while we slept. So right now we're working on also coordinating with RIPE's efforts on the BGP, kind of BGP 101, the basics of BGP, which is also actually being worked on with some folks from Japan, from JANOG, and the BCP efforts there. And then we're also working on an Ethernet OAM BCOP, and further, we're looking into right now updating a BCOP that we already published at NANOG, which is on internet exchange points. And we're going to focus on some more of the details of how to be a good participant at an exchange point, as well as separating out a second document on how to set up and operate an exchange point. So the NANOG efforts are also working, and again, working together between the regions, as well as having the local regional efforts going on. So that's the update from NANOG.
Okay, thank you very much. This is the end of our presentation. I would just like to remind you that after the last session tonight, we will have a BOF, and would like to welcome anyone who is interested in this subject. Would like individuals who will have ideas on who would like to volunteer some of their time to actually draft some of these documents, and who can help with making sure we steer this initiative forward. We think it's a very good effort, and we believe with a little support from you guys, we will be able to make it very successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Douglas, and thank you to all the other presenters. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have coffee coming up, but I would like to just use this opportunity to thank the presenters we've had for this morning session. I'd like to thank very much Mr. Paul Cheng and the CCSI. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for supporting the summit, and we hope you do it again next year. I'd like to thank ISOC and Dawit representing. Thank you very much for the work ISOC is doing in the region. And to also our keynote speaker, Dr. Nikweno, thank you very much for that well thought out presentation. And I do hope that as many people here will take up the challenge and go back home to help in educating the children back home, because it's a race between us and the monkeys and the cats and the rats who are also educating their own children. So it's 10:48, and we'll be back 10 minutes after 11 to resume the second session. Thank you very much, and see you after coffee.